Right, we should now be live. Bear with me. Let me just sort out some background music for us. There we go. Ah, how are we all doing? Hello, King Giga, Kairu. Yes, we are live. Excellent. Hello, Monster. I'm just going to give people a few minutes to pop in because I assume they're going to need a little bit from time to get here from Evo. Sorry. Blah. How is it going? I'm okay. I'm a lot better than I was yesterday. Yesterday my asthma was so bad that I just could not stream. That's why I delayed it to today. And yes, I thought today would go through the videos of the news that we got this week. Or the two that I didn't do videos about. And then play some Planet Zoo after. So that is the plan. And we're starting with the marketplace video first. And there's a lot in this video that I think is really interesting, actually, beyond just the marketplace. I have to say, I quite like this piece of modern art sculpture they have here. That's literally, like, we don't get a really good view of it. We literally only have, like, this section. But it's clearly a T-Rex. There's the skull, there's the arms, the legs, the tail. This is a really cool modern art sculpture, and this is something that I actually was sort of asking for many, many months ago when I was thinking about, you know, if I was the CEO of Frontier, what sort of things would I add to the game? These sorts of modern art sculptures is one of the things I mentioned, so really glad to see that. I also find it interesting that over here on this wall we have some sort of fossil display. But this wall looks like it's like a placeable fence, almost, with this being put on it. So I hope we're going to have plenty of like placeable wall decorations, you know, things you can put onto walls just to show off things in the park a bit. And then just through the gap in the roof, that looks to me like a placeable T-Rex skull. Down there. There doesn't appear to be... Oh, there does appear also to be, on the other side... I would say that looks like a Brachiosaurus or Diplodocus skull. Roughly rectangular. I think that's a Dippy or Brachy skull. It's definitely smaller than the Rex. So... yeah, I think we're going to have some interesting stuff to decorate our parks with. Then obviously cutting up here we have the return of the lovely Jurassic Park wall sections. But having a look at the straight ones that are joined together on the sides, it seems to me very clearly that they are clipped into each other. Now, obviously, we assumed with modular building that we'll have to do that sort of thing, but this is sort of quite demonstrative that it is definitely there. Also, these new planters at the far end of the path, they look quite interesting. What else do we get to see as we go through? We've got these lovely amenities. I assume this is the new Jurassic Park style. Which I think looks really nice. The thatch looks so much better than the old thatch. And I quite like the signage and stuff they go for. Although I wonder what goat is as a brand. If I do find it strange that one of the shops is labelled goat. So I'm wondering if that's like... some sort of maybe it's like a clothing brand or something. Yeah, the live feeder thing is interesting, Curtis. I've been disappointed to see so far only goats. Nice path though, like this blocky block brick. Nice T-Rex statue. Nice arch, clearly built with modular rock pieces. Now, yet again, we are only seeing mosasaur lagoons. And this really, really worries me. But we can talk about that more later. If this is sort of the Din style viewing lagoon, looks really cool. Do you like that lagoon design? And this hotel design, very nice. Now, in this overhead shot, we get quite a lot of buildings that we can see. Obviously, the Jurassic Park center, lots of amenities. The Din building zip line. I wonder if this is sort of, we're seeing the entire perimeter of the map here. Because obviously, you can see based on the change of the color of the textures, this back row of rocks here kind of marks the outer edge of the playable space. And I wonder if the playable space is not really that much more beyond what we're seeing in the camera. Which is fine. I think that's fine as an amount of space. Although whoever put these paths down and didn't... There's some really annoying pet peeves of mine when it comes to park design I'm seeing in these parks they've built. Like thin pathing, the fact that there's some really clearly not like flattened terrain and stuff. But I mean, it looks pretty decent to me. Do you think they'll add anything else before the game's launch? Well, I suppose what you actually mean, Curtis, is how much more are they going to show before the game? Because I think, given how they've only got a month, most games at this point in time, a month before release, they're in the sort of optimization, cleaning up, sorting bugs. Like, this is the period of time where the game is polished. So they won't be adding anything else, but it's whether they're going to show us that much more. We know we've got the modular building videos and stuff coming. And I agree with you, Kairu. I'm quite sick of the Mosasaurus as well now. Then we have the return of this lovely Stegosaurus with babies statue. And they show off this new building, which they're calling the Din Marketplace. But I actually wanted just to have a look at this build menu here, because I think this shows us some quite interesting stuff. So, this is the marketplace facility. Then we have something that looks like a helipad, so I'm guessing this is a sort of Jurassic Park entrance, based on the thatch style. Then we have the return of the Jurassic World entrance, which has been changed slightly, but not by much. Then we have the Jurassic Park Command Center. Then the Jurassic World Command Center, and I assume the one next to it could probably be the Din Command Center. And then we have what looks like the Expedition Facility, because it's got a satellite dish in it, but I assume this is the Din version of it. Then we have the return of the Staff Center, which looks similar to the Jurassic World one, but I'm going to assume this is probably the Din one too. Hello, Chad, and yes, I am feeling much better. I can actually breathe today. Hello, Luna. And then we have the Din Ranger Station ACU, the Din Veterinary Building, which confirms veterinary is coming back, the Din maintenance building, and security cameras, clearly. And then the options at the side are basically the same options that we've already seen in other games. Then we have placing down the marketplace facility. Interesting, again, we've got another community creation down here. So I do wonder if Frontier are going to make sure that there are some buildings created by their staff on the workshop already day one for us to download and try. Just to kind of like stimulate us to use the workshop. I have to say, I actually really like the Din style. It feels sort of Jurassic World adjacent, but a bit, I like the aesthetic of the white and the orange more than Jurassic World's white and blue. That's just a personal choice. What does Cycle Gizmo mean? I think what that means... Where did it show up? Did it show up when they were placing it down? Yeah. So I think what Cycle Gizmo means is... if you're in the advanced move mode, I think you can cycle between the X, Y, and Z things. I think by Gizmo, I think what they mean is like the advanced move options. We have it placed down, and then we see, you know, they show us the Quets again, and now we see the screen. So this confirms the Dimorphodon is back, which I didn't think would not be back, the Pteranodon, the Quets, the Thanatos Dragon. We know the only one missing from that list is Geosternbergia. And did they confirm one other? I can't remember how many pterosaurs we have confirmed. Oh, Tropiognathus. Yeah. This is just them talking about how the marketplace works, which, I mean, it works exactly the same way as the BIOS in DLC, so this is not really that relevant. Hello, TC Diablo and Pedro. And showing us them releasing. All this looks relatively similar. Blah, blah, blah. This is the screen that worries me. Now, it could be true that other lagoon animals are not yet in the game. We know that there are feeders for fish, as King Giga states. But my problem is, I think the mosasaur species roster is the lagoon species roster is going to be really cut down. I think that's where they're going to make a lot of cut species savings. I think we might even have fewer marine animals on launch than what we had in Jurassic World Evolution 2. That's just my thought. What they choose to get rid of will be interesting, and what they choose to bring back in DLCs will also be interesting. But I suspect on launch, the lagoons are going to feel very devoid of choice. Skipping forward, we have them placed down. They've changed the colour of the water, I've noticed. The lagoons have a slightly more blue water to them, whereas in the game we have now, it's kind of like a more something closer to cyan or greenish blue. I do prefer the more blue water. And then we just have them placed down, and then we get to see the inside of the lagoon. And again, I'm worried that the inside the lagoon, all we're seeing is stuff we've already basically got. So you can build your own terrain inside them with rocks and stuff, and kelp plants and things. But I'm seeing no new attractions, no other species, no... you know, it's stuff that's making me concerned that the lagoon in Jurassic World Evolution 3 is going to be just as lacking as they still are in Jurassic World Evolution 2, and that worries me. They are, Kairu and TC Diablo. I think we are going to have some very lacking lagoons again. And yeah, Mr. Dino, that is the bottom of the facility-style shark feeder. Then we switch to the dinosaur screen, which confirms Diplodocus is coming back. The Gallimimus is, we've already seen it. Carno, I think Carno has already been confirmed. Yes, it was. Troodon has been newly confirmed by this. And the Allosaurus, which looks to be the Dominion Allo, which I'm not a massive fan of the Dominion Allo, if I'm honest. And then the next when they select I think they select the galley for this enclosure, they say bye now, and then the screen behind totally changes. Now, we'll get to that Evo. So obviously we have a Pato confirmed here, Archaeornithomimus, as if anyone cared for that, Microceratus, whoopee, Moros intrepidus, great, Nasutoceratops, it's okay. Now apparently Chunkingosaurus is being confirmed by one of these ultra blurry names hidden behind this blue bar. I did everything I could to clear it up. I'm not convinced. When I cleared it up, it looked to me that the first letter and the third letter, were the same. So to me, that suggests Gigantospinosaurus. And if you use the same font and the same size, Chunkingosaurus doesn't match up with all of the lettering. Some letters go off the edge. Gigantospinosaurus matches. So I don't think Chunking is the one that they're talking about. But again, it's an extremely blurry... I mean, I don't think you can say bugger all about anything being confirmed from those 4 incredibly blurry names, honestly. So until I actually see it, it's not confirmed for me. I am disappointed, though, that Archaeornithomimus and Microceratus and Moros intrepidus, and to be fair, Apato are coming back. I think they're 4 animals that you could cut. I don't give 2 shits that Moros intrepidus and Microceratus and Apatosaurus are fully canon and Archaeornithomimus is light canon. I don't care. Those 4 animals add nothing to the roster. Microceratus and Moros intrepidus are too tiny to be worthwhile, and unless we have a better way of displaying them, that'll always be the case. Archaeornithomimus is just a worse Gallimimus and a worse Struthiomimus, and I don't see why it has to be in the game. And Apatosaurus... it's fine, but I would be willing to lose Apatosaurus to keep, I don't know, Chronosaurus? And this is my big problem with what we're seeing about the roster so far. It's going to be lacking in so much diversity because all it looks like they're focusing on is pleasing the canon species only crowd, who just want the film species, and we're going to have no diversity in the roster. And that really, really worries me, because the roster is is really important. I'm fine with cutting species, you know. 122 animals, we all thought it was going to be unlikely that we'd get them all back. But I admit I'm a little surprised that they're cutting them down so severely. Like, how many dinosaurs did Jurassic World Evolution 2 launch with? There's DinoDB briefly. Consent. Okay, so let's switch release version to base game. So Jurassic World Evolution 2 launched with 79. So, and Jurassic World Evolution 3 is launching with 82. That's, I have to admit, disappointing to me. That, like, between the second game and third game, we're basically not gaining that much. And Jurassic World Evolution 2's roster did not include animals we already know are confirmed for Evolution 3, like the species from Dominion, the hybrids. I don't know. Until September, where hopefully we all get to try the game for real. And I tell you, if they let us get hands-on with the game, the first thing I'm doing is going straight to those hatcheries and looking at the rosters. The limitations of the roster might be something that makes me not necessarily not play Jurassic World Evolution 3, but probably not play it all of the time. Until the roster gets some more interesting and more diverse animals. Hello, Andre. We'll almost certainly be locked to a campaign mission with limited dinosaurs available. Yeah, probably, Evo. But anyway, carrying on. Yes, the Gallimimus turned out to be a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Does bug me that they have not capitalized the Rex here. Technically, there should be a capital. Same as it kind of bugs me that here they call Mosasaurus a dinosaur. And lacking capitals here and stuff. Carrying on. It gets, you know, it smashes out, it gets free. They have to place down the... Oh, shall we do the how many copies of the same person can you see within the guests? This woman is copied once, twice, 3, 4 times. And this woman once, twice, 3, maybe 4 times behind. Oh, 1 second, Evo. Let me have a look, Evo. Oh, that is... Oh, that is a lot clearer. Oh, there's Listro, and there's the chunking. Great. Well, I suppose that means that Hwango has been cut then, and probably Gigantospino has been cut. Thank you, Evo. I've not seen that screenshot anywhere. I wonder how they got it that clean. I honestly still think chunking is the wrong choice. In my opinion, it's the worst of the 3, and I still might make that video explaining why I think it's the worst of the 3. But like I said to you, Evo, you like it, so it was gonna be there because Frontier listens. I think Frontier left it there deliberately for you, Evo. That's my thought, because I don't... If you compare it to Gigantospino and Hwango, chunking is the worst. I mean, if we have Archeo, and we almost certainly have Struthi and Galley, is Hwango really definitely cut? Well, they've got to cut some animals. I mean... They're going to be really harsh with the cuts. I mean... We could say that any animal that's been in Jurassic World Evolution 1 will be safe, perhaps. Because why... If I was Frontier, I wouldn't get rid of animals that I've kind of already had the rigging and skins and models for a long time. It makes sense to me to keep using them. But then in that case, like, what are you cutting? What are they cutting? That's the big thing for me. And I think the lagoon animals are really going to be heavily cut. And I think we'll lose all the animal pack animals, perhaps. But that's only, what? 4, 8, 12, 16, 24, 32. I think that's only, like, 32. How many animal packs did we get? 6? 7? I think we got 6, didn't we? 6 times 4 is 24. So even if they cut out all the DLC animals, there's only 24. And one of those other hybrids we know are all coming back. I don't know. The roster is the real big bone of contention for me, and what they do with the roster might put me off buying the game. So anyway, I really like the Din ACU building. I think that looks really, really cool. And we can already see we have 3 versions: Jurassic World, Jurassic Park, Din. And again, I like the fact we got some community created versions down here. Place it down. There we go. I love the color scheme. I really do. And I really like this sort of like the wood paneling they have going on here as well. It's such a nice aesthetic. I like the fact that, like, Din as an organization seemed to be a lot more fleshed out than the DFW were for Jurassic World Evolution 2. Like, it feels like they've given them some thought and effort about, like, what the logo is going to be, what their color schemes are going to be, what their artistic style is going to be. They feel like what the DFW should have been in Jurassic World Evolution 2. And I like that. Smaug, I don't know, but you made a blatantly wrong criticism. Species part of a binomial name should be lowercase. Should it? I've always seen them in uppercase, Smaug. However, if I'm wrong, I am wrong. Thank you for correcting me. They listen to you, Fletcher. Laugh aloud. I'm not making it so basic and ugly. Stand out. Those buildings look really good. I doubt they listen to a YouTube channel with only 3,000 subs. If anyone's likely to be listened to, it's Evo with her. She has, like, nearly... not 10, 100 times more subscribers. No, it must be more than that, surely. 100 times, no, yeah, 100 times 3,000, yeah. Yeah, I haven't pre-ordered JW3 yet. In fact, the video going out on Wednesday next week is me saying why I haven't yet pre-ordered Jurassic World Evolution 3. And me explaining my thoughts. And then they sent the ACU to go tranquilize the Rex. Nice to see that their quality of accuracy for the staff in the chopper is just as bad. That shot definitely misses. Something that does concern me is the Rex seems to be using the exact same sort of run animation where it's really top heavy. I really hate that run animation. But reusing animations is what Frontier does these days, so, you know, it is what it is. Hello, Nicholas. I like this. Transporting this animal to an appropriate and safe habitat. It's a T-Rex. What's an appropriate and safe habitat? Couldn't they have just said, transporting this animal to Biosyn Valley? At least we know Biosyn Valley is appropriate and safe. I'm curious where they're going. And then the guy in the quad bike fixes the fence, and all is good. And then we have another nice overview shot. Some really nice amenity designs going on here. What I like is that some of them seem to be sort of more like a compound where you go through a front door and then you have like a nice plaza in the middle with like a fountain, and then you have shops on either side. It looks really, really nice. Again, zip lines, viewing towers. Had to go Titan in the middle. The lovely Quets, the lovely Moser. Some nice plazas going on here with low fencing. These little cactus planters with built-in benches, which is nice to see. still no safety ropes. For what it showed, it was interesting enough, but I don't think I would do a whole video on this, because there just wasn't that much worthy of doing a video on. And I made 6 videos last week. Still editing 2 of them. Right. Now then. I can't believe we talked about that for half hour. Let's go to the other one, which was... the Cretaceous Cruise video, wasn't it? Where is it? There we go.
Hello, park managers, and welcome to this exclusive first look.
Shut up. Right. So we've switched parks. This is the Hawaii park, apparently. Looks very nice. It's basically the tropical park type from Jurassic World Evolution 2. And this is all showing off the Cretaceous Cruise. And it's about time that we had the Cretaceous Cruise. Look at the baby Bracky. It is adorable. As much as I'm not really a fan of the baby, like, I don't see the point of it. I don't think it's that big of a selling point for me. The babies are cute. But yeah, this is all showing off the Cretaceous Cruise being implemented into this park build. And right, so this is interesting actually, showing how the feeding experience thing is working. So I initially thought that the feeding experience was going to be like a building that you put down and it had scripted animals inside, because that's what I thought would be the easiest way for Frontier to do it. And instead it seems to be you snap it onto the side of a fence and it has this artificial anti-adult dinosaur gate on it, and the baby dinosaurs are able to walk under the gate and go and get fed by the humans. I think that's a really good way of doing it. More difficult than how I would have done it. So, hats off to Frontier for doing it in a really interesting way. I actually think this is a really cool way of doing it. Does make me slaughter the kids. Does make me wonder how it's going to work with, say, carnivorous animals. And I wonder if this also means that, or puts an end to my idea that there's going to be multiple stages of baby growth. I don't know. Have to see. Pedro, does a baby raptor or adult raptor pass through? Well, yeah, that's the other thing, like, because some fully grown animals, Minmai, for example, would easily be small enough to walk under that. So maybe it's an artificial barrier that, like, it's, even though the adult animals would be able to go under it, it would just stop them. Maybe. Ezra, I'll be honest, after Rebirth, I'm surprised if they don't make the T-Rex swim. If Rebirth didn't have the T-Rex swim, then I would understand why. Yeah, this is a whole different conversation, and I don't want to go down a tangent about it, but I would say that I think when it comes to animal behavior, I would rather that the animal behavior was based on not deliberately written, scripted sequences for movies that are done solely for the purpose of having an action sequence, not really anything more than that. In fact, I kind of personally think that the river raft scene would have been better if they had brought the Spinosaurus back for it. As much as everyone says, oh, well, it's nice to have the scene from Jurassic Park 1, I personally feel it would make more sense to have the Spinosaurus had been doing it. And I think it would have been nice to have the Spinosaurus actually properly in the film again. But that's me talking about Rebirth, and that'll derail the entire stream. So let's not go much further into that. I suspect this game will be always online, Andre, because how their workshop does not work the same way that Steam's does. Steam's workshop downloads the item for you, and even if it goes offline, you can still use it. But from what I've heard about Planet Coaster 2, the Frontier workshop, you always have to be online to access it. So I would assume that you're always going to have to be online with the game. I don't think it'll have an offline mode. Let's not talk about Dominion, Pedro. Anyway, yeah, I really like this way of them doing that. Here we have the gyrospheres. Nice to see them back. I really do love the balloon. I am so glad we have the balloons back. I do mean... I'm going to say something which I mean in the nicest way possible. It's nice that Jurassic World Evolution 3 has finally caught up with a game 20 years previous. Although it's funny that Jurassic Park Operation Genesis still had better balloons, because their balloons could crash in a tornado, and you'd have to rescue the guests. Whereas we already know the balloons in Jurassic World Evolution 3 will be invulnerable and cannot crash and cannot be destroyed. And we don't rescue guests. So, JPOG still have some things over Evolution games. I don't think we see anything like radically important in these shots, apart from the zip line being just so huge. I like the building, the design of the Cretaceous Cruise building. I'm a bit disappointed that they always use the Spinosaurus skull for stuff like this, but since it's modular, we'll be able to change that, won't we? I hope we have a nice range of skulls to choose from. And we see how it's going to work. So basically, we already know the Parasaurolophus are in here. Lovely, lovely. Right, so only one design of Cretaceous Cruise. Now that does make me wonder if there's not a Jurassic Park version. The other buildings that they've done videos on, we've seen them have a Jurassic Park version and a Jurassic World version. Here, we only have a Jurassic World version. So I do wonder if it's going to be locked to particular building style. Which is a shame, because I'd really like to see like these canoes in a Jurassic Park skin. If it is, I'm not buying the game. The internet is so bad for me and always disconnects when playing Planet Zoo. And we basically see that they place down the route in exactly the same way that you'd place down any other tour ride. They build a nice arch out of dynamic rocks, biome dynamic rocks that they call them. I do wonder this biome dynamic rocks. I wonder if that means that the rocks will always be whatever color matches the biome. Because that's what biome dynamic sounds to me. They build a nice arch. Wonderful. Carrying on. Ooh, there's some interesting stuff here in this blueprints. Default blueprints. Looks like some interesting buildings. Some nice seating and lounge arrangements. There's a Jurassic Park gate there, some interesting like helipad looking stuff and markings. So at least it'll be easier to do car parks. If you can take control of your river tour, can you go over a waterfall? That would be an interesting thing to test, actually. If you can do like a river rapid sort of thing. And then we see it creates a nice gate in fences. Like any other tour, it goes through deep water, so we can can place it through whatever water we like. I've seen some people suggest that this means you could use it in the lagoons. I don't see how. The design of this building does not seem to be one that would work itself well to being attached to the side of a lagoon. And I also don't see that this gate design going through the fence would work well, again, for the side of a lagoon. So I don't think this thing is going to be able to go into a lagoon. And it doesn't make sense for it to either. For the lagoon, you want an attraction which goes under the water. So you need a submarine, or like a gyrosphere or a bathysphere, something like that. What is your favorite species from Evolution 2? Ooh. You know, it might make me a basic sort of bitch, but the Amargasaurus. I think out of all of the animals Jurassic World Evolution 2 added on launch, Amargasaurus was the best. Huango is technically a Jurassic World Evolution 1 species, so I'm not going to count Huango as a JWE2 one. Thinking about just the animals that were unique to Evolution 2, Amargasaurus, if I had to take from the entire like JWE1 and 2, Huango is probably up there. And then they just, you know, talk about the Brachiosaurus being able to deep wade, which we already knew, and blah, 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 blah. They go over the placing of environmental stuff, which we've seen before. You know, nothing really new. And I do like this kind of cover you have going on here. I mean, this for me is perfect for modifying into like a dinosaur shelter, which is how I think the modular building, I think the best way to get into the modular building will be edit the stuff that's already there first, learn how it works, learn what we've got, and then start building your own stuff. Nice to see the Paras back. And yes, they go, we have manual control, which I actually kind of really like, and I think this is going to result in some really cool experience builds, where you just kind of go on a canoe down a river late at night through, like, carnivore-infested waters and stuff. I mean, hell, I don't think you... Just thinking about park design. Personally, I don't think you even need dinosaurs. I would just have, like, the option for people to take a canoe trip around a nice river. Doesn't even have to be dinosaurs there. Can just be statues. Can just be nice environment. You know, I think when it comes to Jurassic World Evolution building, people too often think that everything has to be about dinosaurs, and it doesn't, really. You know, I went to a zoo that had an old church from like the 1400s as like part of the things you can go and see there. Like, you know, it's not just about the dinosaurs. Yeah, roleplay kind of stuff, Diablo. The para babies are very cute. And then they just show off really it working. There isn't much more in that to discuss. You know, and they do this like, oh no, everything's gone wrong thing. Animal escape chaos. I'll be honest, and this is going to be an unpopular opinion. I kind of really didn't like them doing this at the end of this video. Because you have a really good video showing off like how the Cretaceous Cruise is going to work and some new animals and everything. And then at the very end they decide to ruin the kind of atmosphere by doing the whole, oh, let's show some dinosaur chaos just to satisfy the people who are going to play this game not properly, they're just going to play it for having dinosaur combat and crap. I don't know, it bugged me in a really specific way. Although, is this the Megalodon Dunk or Ichthy statue on the left-hand side? Difficult to know without being able to see the front. I mean, it could be any of them, to be honest. Yes, launching ACU again to deal with it, and that's it. So yeah, I'm really happy about having the Cretaceous Cruise in the game. I think it's about time we had a properly new attraction, and obviously the balloons as well, really good. I still think out of everything we saw this week, including the other stuff we already learned about, it worries me that the lagoons seem to be being shortchanged again, and that worries me. That's like one of my biggest worries about the game so far, is the roster and the lagoons seem to be shafted. And in my opinion, the lagoons are kind of the one element from Jurassic World Evolution 2 that needed the most work done to them. Like the management and the lagoons. They're the two areas that Evolution 3 needs to greatly improve on for me. And so far, we've seen nothing about management. It's like they're avoiding talking about it. And the lagoons seem to be no better. So I don't... I'm hoping that September we're going to get a lot of good stuff, which is going to make me feel a little bit more interested or a little more optimistic. Because I'm tired of seeing babies. I don't need to see babies anymore. I don't need to see nice environmental stuff anymore. What I want to see now is gameplay. I want to see rosters. I want to see lagoon stuff. I want to see the management. I don't give a damn about the rest that you've been showing off constantly now, Frontier. Show me the game being played. And this Cretaceous Cruise video is better for that. I will admit, this is a better way of showing us the game than those 1 minute long videos. I just want to see more of the meat. But that's just me, personally. I know lots of people have different, some people are really hyped for the babies, some are hyped for the modular building. I'm not hyped for either. But, different strokes for different folks. Right, let me go and get Planet Zoo started up for us. So if you'll bear with me one moment, talk amongst yourselves. I had to verify Planet Zoo's files because after installing it for the first time ever, Planet Zoo decided it didn't want to work. Typical Frontier. Am I going to give Primitive War a watch? No. Okay, let's switch to Planet Zoo. Are we working? We are. Delightful. Now, I have not played Planet Zoo at all. So I'm just going to get in with the career. Because the whole point of playing Planet Zoo is to sort of practice how it does its modular building. Yeah, this is vanilla Planet Zoo. No DLC or anything like that. I'll keep it at medium. Okay, Mr. Dino, thank you for tuning in.
Heyo at Hematu. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. I have a habit of slipping back into the Planko language. It's good to finally meet you in person. I'm Bernard. Although
Bernard.
I insist you call me Bernie. The only person who calls me Bernard is my wife. And even then, only when I've tracked elephant dung into the carpets. As you know, I own several zoos, but I always like to show people the ropes here at my home.
Some actual better
This
characters
is
than
the
Jurassic World
first
Evolution
zoo
1 and
ever
2.
opened,
I
and
agree.
a source of great pride for me. And prides, thanks to a lion breeding program we ran in the 80s. But we're in the middle of a big renovation, and that's where you come in. Sadly, our old contractor had to retire after developing a fur allergy. Poor devil kept sneezing his dentures into the lion habitat.
Bernie Goldwyn
So,
versus
it's
Alistair
up to
Finch in
you
a
to
cage fight.
finish
Who would
everything
win?
off.
My bet's on Goodwin.
Don't worry, though. I'm not completely throwing you in at the deep end. My head keeper, Nancy Jones, will be lending a helping hand. Oh, she's a hard worker. And she'll expect you to be too.
See, this is kind of the thing they
I'm sure
need to
you'll
do
get
for the
along like a
evolution
house on
games.
fire,
Like, they
even
need
better.
to...
One that isn't on fire. Less shouting that way.
Hello there.
to-
From that rosy
I'll
fresh
explain
face
after
of
the
yours,
introduction.
I'm guessing
I'll
you're
explain what I mean
Bernie's
after the
new
intro.
hire. Good. Now, I hope you're ready to ditch your diploma because we're about to get really hands-on. But before we begin the real work, how about we familiarize you with the zoo by learning how to fly around it and visiting some of our beautiful animals. We'll start by popping over and having a look-see at the grizzly bears in their habitat.
Nice. But yeah, as I was saying, so this is one of the things they need to learn with the evolution games is, to quote Megamind, the difference between the Planet series and the Evolution series is presentation. Just that little introductory cutscene showing off, like, the zoo, the animals, characters that actually feel like they're proper characters. That's kind of one of the elements that's always been missing from the Evolution games. And I feel like that's some area of very easy improvement. I do love this zoo as well. It is a very, like, if you're not from the United Kingdom, this is kind of classic United Kingdom zoo, like nice stately house, greenhouse sort of structures, hedge mazes, that kind of thing. Get to the objective. Oi, King Giga. Rude. Anyway, where are the bears? There, those are lions. It wouldn't be in there. Oh, it's the glowing one, naturally. The bears.
Did you know that grizzly bears, also known as Ursus arctos horribilis, can hibernate for up to 7 months a year?
Hey,
But
look at
then
that. The
again,
camera doesn't
given a
get
chance,
stuck. I
think a
can
lot
just
of
go back and
people would
forward
do
as
that
freely
too.
as I like. Put that back in
Select
for the
one of
lagoons.
bears and you'll bring up its information panel.
Mika.
This is where you can find out all kinds of information about your animal. The most important thing being its overall welfare. You'll learn more about animal welfare today as we go through your objectives. But for now, let's enjoy this magnificent animal. Why don't you select the camera at the bottom of its information panel?
Ah.
See now, this is a fantastic way to get a close look at your animals. You can also get this view of an animal by simply double-clicking on it. Okay, when you're ready, let's pop over to the other side of the zoo and take a look at the lions. I've marked their location for you to find.
I have to say, this lion habitat, I think that could be better, personally.
Panthera leo leo, or the West African lion to you and me. Lions are the most social of the big
I don't
cats,
see a
and there
lion.
can be as
Oh.
many as 40 lions in a pride, although prides of that size are pretty rare. As Bernie would say, those lions are awesome, which is precisely why I handle training instead these days. Anyway, how about we get started on those objectives? Come on, let's get over to an empty habitat and see what needs doing there.
That's what you need for characters. You don't need people like Lambert and Adua and the other one with the stupid hair that are totally boring, stereotype, cynical characters. You need characters with actual humor and personality to them. Sorry, what are we doing? Why are people visiting? I kind of don't like the always online features of this game. I don't even know what I was supposed to be doing. Oh. Locate empty habitat. Empty habitat. Not a very big one.
As you can see, it's a lovely space for animals, but it's missing a certain something. Well, two somethings. Warthogs. So I'd like you to adopt a pair of them. To adopt animals, we need to open the animal market, which is in the animal trading section. There we are, a pair of perfectly splendid warthogs for our zoo. Just click on them and select Adopt from the side menu. Normally the animal exchange would be full of animals, but I've emptied out the market while you learn how it works. The last thing I need is you accidentally ordering a dozen elephants. When you adopt an animal, it's automatically placed in the trade centre, where they're held until you're ready to move them into their habitat, which, as it happens, you are. So how about you move them into their new home?
Okay. Ah.
When you ask for an animal to be moved into a habitat,
I have to say,
your
I think
caretaker
Prehistoric
will go to
Kingdom
the
does
trade
this
centre,
better.
collect your animal and deliver them to your selected habitat. I've marked the trade centre's location, so let's go and watch the caretakers in action.
No, I think Prehistoric Kingdom, where they just, you know, stay in a
as you
bar
can
at the
see,
side and
those
you can just click
caretakers
as
don't hang
many
about.
as you want
They'll
and
move
then
those animals to their
automatically grab and
destination
place.
as fast as possible.
Works a lot better than
Of
that
course,
system.
normally
Fewer
we'd have to place
members.
the animals into quarantine before moving them into a habitat, but I am assured by a person of good standing that these warthogs are in the very rudest of health. Right, let's get the warthog's habitat finished up so we can keep them nice and happy. You see, each animal in the zoo has an overall welfare statistic.
Oh, look.
Basically how happy
They're
they
not
are.
delivering
And that
tiny
overall
animals with a
welfare
massive
statistic is
oversized
itself
helicopter.
comprised of 4 different areas: nutrition, social health, habitat, and enrichment. Luckily, if you select an animal,
The first
you'll
thing I
bring up
noticed
their
when I started
animal
playing this
welfare
game was the
information
sense of
panel, which we
scale.
saw earlier, where you can see how they're doing.
Yes.
That way, you'll know exactly what areas need to be addressed. Don't worry.
That
if that's a
for
lot to
me
remember.
is the
You can always
the
check
most
Zoopedia
difficult
for more
element of
information.
modular building games is
Let's start by making sure we're taking care of
scale.
the warthog's
You build
nutrition
something and you think
welfare.
it looks big
To do
enough,
this,
and then
we'll need to
people
place
go
a
near
food
it, and it's
station
like, oh my
and
god,
a
it's actually
drinking
too
station.
small.
Now, each animal requires
Or you
a
build
different
something
type of
that you
feeding
think
station.
is
And for the
perfectly
warthogs,
sized,
it's
and
a
then it turns
small
out it's
feeding truck.
massive compared to the
let's
size
add
it
one of
needs to
those
be.
and a water bowl.
Add feeding station, add toy enrichment.
Animals also require stimulation to keep them happy. Let's add a lovely mud bath for the warthogs to roll around in. That bath will count towards their enrichment welfare, specifically their toy enrichment welfare.
Ah, see, this is an element that I think Jurassic World Evolution 2 needed, and Jurassic World Evolution 3 should definitely think about, is animal enrichment. Doesn't really fit very well anywhere.
Oh, nice work. You've got a knack for this, I see. Now, our contractor had to leave in a hurry, so this place is in a feral state. Unfinished thingamajigs and whatsits all over the shop. But the first thing we need to finish is the ostrich habitat.
I don't know,
It's over
I think
near the hippos.
the warthogs need finishing. Okay. Oh, I see.
Oh, before we actually start building our ostrich habitat, let's pause the game. Just click the pause button in the bottom right corner. Ah, that's more like it. A quick break. Sometimes it's a good idea to pause the game whilst you're doing something which requires your concentration, because it'll stop the zoo spinning out of control while you're looking the other way.
I don't like
Let's
these
keep the game paused while we get
brick
this ostrich
walls
habitat
for the ostrich
built.
habitat.
Okay, job number 1 here is to add a habitat gate before we complete the barrier. Every habitat needs a habitat gate. After all, how else would the keepers get in and out? Just make sure it's hooked up to the path so the keepers can reach it.
You mean outside placement? Oh, I see.
Right, let's complete the perimeter barrier so we can adopt us some ostriches. I've marked out an area for you to use, so I'd like you to finish off the perimeter using the brick barrier.
What have I done? Did I mean to do that? No, I just meant to. I thought that was the curve tool. I don't know what tool I've now just accidentally turned on. It's not letting me build the wall. What have I done? Oh, okay. So what's the curve tool then? Is there not a curve tool button? Oh, hang on. Oh, there it is. So remember when you give me this, give us my first one to do. Yep. Whoa. Oh, they put in the bloody delete tool that Evolution has, I see. And it doesn't work anyway. I hate tutorials that, like, are so stringent. They demand you do it their way first. It's like, can I just, like, play around with more than just what you
Good work.
are telling me?
Remember, before you can place animals in any habitat, it has to have a full loop of
Oh,
connected
thank
barrier.
you, C1.
Now, you've probably noticed that guests can't actually see
Focus
this
people, we have to
habitat at
teach the
moment.
man-child.
At least
King
not without a
Giga, you
stepladder.
cheeky...
But seeing as they're banned, I'd like you to select a piece of barrier and swap out the brick for a glass barrier, so the guests can see in.
Ah, I like that tool. So how do I... Okay, hang on, what?
There we go.
Ah.
Adding in more windows gives guests even more opportunities to see the animals in a habitat. It's always best to make sure the guests can get a good view into a habitat from the path they're walking on, because it makes them happy, and because this would be a pretty terrible zoo if they couldn't. The last thing we need to do is to add a donation box. You see, when guests enjoy the view of an animal, they'll make a donation. Just make sure you put them in easy-to-reach places, like near a viewing point. Donation boxes are one of the main sources of income for the zoo, so make sure you remember them. Now, before we adopt our ostriches, you should click the play button. After all, if the game's paused, then so are our caretakers, which will make it a bit tricky for them to deliver the ostriches, eh? By the way, as well as pausing the game, you can speed the game up by clicking on the fast forward button. It'll run everything at 2 times and 5 times faster. It can be useful, especially if you're waiting for money to accumulate or for animals to be delivered to your habitat.
Tutorials.
Personally, I use it when I'm waiting for a brew to finish. All right.
I didn't. I know.
High time we adopted those
I want to
ostriches,
put
don't you
path in
think?
here.
Let's get
I'm
forward
thinking
here.
ahead. Like, I'm already thinking about how I'm redesigning this place. Ah, there we go. Can I just select all of them? I have to do it one by one?
While we wait for them to be collected by the caretakers and brought to the habitat, you should get it ready for them. Add a suitable feeding station, water station, and an appropriate food enrichment item. It's often best to place things like enrichments and feeding stations near to the habitat perimeter, so guests can get a really good view of the animals.
See, I don't agree with that. You shouldn't put food and stuff near where guests are going to interfere with it. Animals need to be able to feed without being annoyed by people. Oh, oops, I pressed the totally wrong button. What's the normal rotate button? There is no normal rotation, it's just... Okay, well, we'll just put this here for now. Oh, and I need to put an enrichment thing in. Right, okay.
Oh, good to see the ostriches have somewhere they can really stretch their legs. Did you know they can actually run at 43 miles per hour? Oh, heaven forbid they ever escape. The speed camera fines alone would bankrupt us.
Well,
Where do they
Bernie
put
certainly
path?
seems impressed. Did he do his speed camera joke? Every time we get an ostrich. So, now we've made the ostriches' lives a bit better, let's do the same for the keepers, shall we? To make it easier for the keepers to feed the ostriches and hippos, we should build a new keeper hut. Keeper huts are where the keepers prepare the food for animals, so they should be placed near
Wow,
to
they
the
really don't give you
habitats
much
to
freedom
make
with
sure
these
the keepers
tutorials,
don't
do
waste
they?
their time walking when they should be looking after the animals.
I can't teach him, the man lacks a controller. Yeah, I don't play PC games with a controller.
You'll need to rotate the keeper hut to get it to connect up to the path.
Oh, Z axis. Oh, I see. I kind of feel Jurassic World Evolution system is better, where you can just turn off the snapping with press of a button, or holding a button down.
This keeper hut only has space for one keeper, but the larger keeper hut
Not
can
in the
allow
first
multiple
3, it's
keepers
very
to
strict.
prepare
Oh, that's a
food at
bit
the same
bugger.
time. Oh,
I kind
but
of just
bear
wanted
in
to
mind
use this
that
one.
keeper huts and
Ugh,
other staff
okay.
facilities shouldn't be placed near to areas where there are lots of guests. Guests don't like seeing facility buildings, and it can affect their happiness.
See, I disagree with that.
Negatively.
I like seeing the
In case
back
that
scene
wasn't
stuff. I
clear.
like being able to see what
Something
people are
that all
doing.
facilities, shops, and a whole host of other objects need is power. And that obviously includes your newly built keeper hut. So let's place a transformer next to it, shall we? Now, the reason everything has gone blue is because you're using the power heat map. This map allows you to see what is and what isn't powered in your zoo. So once you've placed your transformer, you can click in the bottom left to turn the heat map off.
It's gonna demand I put it where it wants,
Lovely
isn't
work.
it?
Now the keepers can start using the hut to prepare food, and thanks to where you've put it, they won't need to walk very far to deliver it to the ostriches and hippos. Let's get on to your next objective then.
Ooh,
Bengal tigers.
cute.
We want to adopt some, but I'm afraid there's nothing ready for them yet. Head on over to the plot of land I've marked out. It's not too far away.
Now the Bengal tigers are
Righty,
getting
your
more
next
space than the
job is to build a
ostriches.
habitat
Kind of
from
feel bad for the
scratch.
ostriches.
And concrete and glass, I expect. So, go ahead and build it. Just make sure that the habitat includes that big hole we've dug. Oh, and don't forget to add a habitat gate to the barrier. Oh, and make sure the guests will be able to see the tigers.
Of course, I have to. Hmm. I don't like how uneven some of these paths are that they've put in. Oh, that's a bit long. No. It'll do for now until I go and correct everything. And I'm just trying to get through the tutorial. What was the other thing they asked me to do? Oh, habitat gate. And complete the habitat boundary. Connect the habitat to path. Yeah. Set boundary to 3.7 meters high. Oh. I'm assuming it's that one. What? It doesn't do all of it? Hang on, what? No, 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 no. If I edit the barrier and only edits one section of the barrier, it doesn't edit the whole thing. Snap to adjacent heights. You have to select each barrier individually. Oh, that's just stupid. Oh, also, that barrier wasn't connected. That's why. What happened? Okay. Let me delete the... They don't give you control of the delete function. Why don't they? I know the panel's too short. Edit barrier. How do I delete this? I like the fact that people in chat are disagreeing with one another now. Right. How do I press the delete key? Why isn't there just a delete button on the screen?
Now, Bernie takes safety very seriously at his zoos.
Jesus.
So we should probably make sure those tigers can't
Thank you,
jump out
King
of their
Giga.
habitat, don't you think? The way we'll do it is by changing the height of the habitat's barrier. Okay then, you should start by double-clicking the habitat barrier, which will take you into barrier editing mode. Great. Now highlight the entire perimeter of the habitat. You can do that by clicking and dragging the barrier selection tool. Now you've got all of the perimeter selected.
That's interesting. You know, they should really put that in Jurassic World Evolution so that we can determine the size of the enclosed space. Because they give us, like, this information saying, oh, the dinosaurs need this amount of area to be happy. But we have no way of determining how much area it actually is.
Now that the habitat is in place, don't forget to put down a donation box near to your viewing areas. We need every dollar we can get. Especially as these tigers aren't exactly eating instant noodles for lunch.
Every dollar we can get in a British zoo.
Okay, that's the habitat boundary complete, the habitat gate in place, and most importantly, the tigers won't be able to jump out of it anymore. I think it's time we adopted those tigers.
Wow, they're expensive. Christ.
Whilst our trusty caretakers collect and deliver the tigers, let's take a look at preparing the habitat for their arrival. We'll start with the basics. Add a suitable feeding station for them. This time, instead of adding a water bowl, let's try something different. Some animals need a pool in their habitat so they can go for a swim, but they can also use it to drink from. All you have to do is make sure the banks of the pool have a gentle slope so they can easily get a nice, refreshing drink. There's already a pool excavated, but you still need to fill it with water. You should do that by going into Terrain and selecting the water tool.
Ah. Oh, I see. We have to use this. I've seen people really struggle with this really frustrating method.
Yes, that'll do nicely.
Works.
Of course, just like the warthogs and ostriches, these tigers will also need some enrichment. Why don't you add some suitable toy and food enrichment items into their habitats?
Frozen pumpkins.
Okay, it's really starting to take shape. Now, The tigers will need a shelter
King
in their
Giga,
habitat, so they can
our
hide
teacher
from
is working.
guests,
Yes,
or
our
who's
teacher
more
is
likely to get
struggling.
bad weather. Although, given that we're in England, you might want to think of that just as normal weather. Go on, add a shelter to their habitat. You can either build one from various suitable bits and bobs, or if you like, just pop down the blueprint that I've already built for you.
Ah. It's a bit large, but we'll stick to. Yeah. Flipping controls. Who thought this would be a good habitat? Like, it's really ugly and doesn't really work for this enclosure. They should have just, like, taught us how to build one. It's like, it's got a window on it. It's just like, well, surely we want the window to be... Well, I hope they have a better control system. And we'll just plonk it down.
Oh, poor Dabs. I'm sure it can't have escaped your attention that the tigers look a bit miffed. That's because they aren't too keen on the type of terrain in their habitat. Select a tiger and bring up its information panel. Rightio, click on the terrain tab. That way you can view the terrain information and see how they feel about the different types of terrain. That'll tell you what the tigers need more of or less of in this habitat. Okay then, open the terrain editing tool, select painting, and give them some more soil. Yes, that should help with the habitat part of their welfare.
Okay. And then they want long grass and short grass. Stay out of the long grass. Okay, I'm already over it. They want more short... Alright, it has to be in the bar, not over the bar. I see.
Right then.
Ah,
All animals need plants and trees from their own biome or continent. You know, deserts,
I'm learning.
savannas,
I'm learning.
or Asia, Europe, that sort of thing. It looks like these tigers
Yeah,
need
yeah,
a few more
Biocraft,
plants in their
indeed.
habitat. To get a perfect fit, use plants from the rainforest and temperate biomes that are native to Asia. Although if you have to, you can get away with using just one or the other. The tigers will also want a certain amount of their habitat to be covered by those plants. To find out which plants to use and how many, select a tiger and go to the Environment tab.
What did she say? Asia and... thingy-majig? Ah, God. I'm so used to hitting X and Z to rotate in Jurassic World that I keep accidentally hitting it here. The tutorial is so restrictive.
Really?
It doesn't let you experiment.
Is a Bengal tiger. Still, those tigers look so happy that I doubt they'd leave, even if you did poke a hole in their fence. Oh, but for heaven's sake, don't test that theory.
Right. let's head over to the Indian peafowls. I've been told that we need to improve their social welfare.
Locate the gold highlighted area.
Now then, just find one of the peafowls and select them to open their information panel. Then we can have a good gander.
Well,
at
I'd
how
rather
they're
do
doing.
all of this one
Although
because, like, the
technically,
point is, I
suppose
want
gandering
to.
would just be for geese.
I don't want to play all of the like Planet Zoo.
Expand
I
their
just want to
social
use
welfare, and we can
this
get a bit more
zoo
detail.
for all of the Planet Zoo streams. Like, I'm not going to be playing Planet Zoo as a game on for the channel. I'm just wanting to use this zoo, so we'll stay here. What? Adopt and place 3 new Indian peafowls. There are no Indian peafowls. I will say this is hard to watch. I'm sorry, Biocraft. I didn't realize the tutorial was so restrictive.
Now, they've clearly got plenty of space and they're not stressed, but it looks like their social group isn't quite right. So let's find out more. Click on the social tab at the top of their information panel to see what's wrong. Right, as you can see, the peafowls need their population to be larger. To solve this little problem, you'll need to adopt 3 more female peafowls. Off you pop to the animal market then.
Okay, can I just point out that if your objective list says adopt and place 3 new Indian peafowls, that's what I'm going to assume you want me to do if I didn't catch what you asked me to do in the first place. That should have said click on an Indian peafowl and check its social needs.
Good work on those peafowls. I expect they'll be delivered soon. But sadly, it sounds like our snow leopard is a bit grumpy. Let's head over there and see what's wrong with her. Just like people, animals can suffer from stress if things aren't quite right. You know, like when you see someone put in the milk before the tea bag. In the case of these snow leopards, they're a bit stressed by their lack of privacy.
I do put them. I put the milk and tea bag in at the same time.
Glass barrier by their cave for one-way glass. It's not a cheap option, but I think they're worth the expense, don't you? This will give the snow leopards somewhere to go when they want to get away from the prying eyes of the guests.
Okay.
Of course, when an animal isn't in its natural biome, it's probably going to be too hot or too cold. Unsurprisingly for the snow leopards, it's too hot. Even with the terrible British weather. You should help cool it down by adding some coolers to their habitat. But let's start by opening up the temperature heat map and having a look-see at the temperature in the leopard's habitat.
The rail track is... I wouldn't have put the train this close to this enclosure because it's going to disturb the animal. That's badly designed, in my opinion.
As you can see, we already have one cooler in there. Let's pop some more down and get as much of the habitat as chilly as we can. Luckily for us, this habitat already has power, but you'll need to make sure of that in the future. Just so you know, if any part of a habitat is powered, then the whole habitat will be powered. You can find heat maps for all sorts of helpful things, so do be sure to explore them and make good use of them. It'll take a little while for the temperature to adjust once you've added coolers or heaters, but now we've got the coolers in, we can address the leopard's terrain welfare. You see, what the leopards really want in here is snow and rock, so let's make that happen.
Okay, snow and rock.
Welcome to the most annoying part of this system.
All of that should give you a pretty good understanding of how to make animals happy. So I'd like you to go and check on all the other animals in the zoo and fix up any issues with their habitats. That'll increase the average welfare of the animals across the whole zoo. And that average welfare is a very important statistic. Now, to quickly see how all your animals are doing in the zoo, you should go into zoo management and then into the
Management
animals section.
time.
As you can see, this list shows you the animal's overall welfare.
Okay, the
So if
tortoises aren't
something's
happy.
amiss, then you can quickly pop over to them using the locate button.
And the zebra and
Right,
giraffes are
I'm off for a cuppa while you make sure all the animals are well looked after.
Oh. Oh, I love tortoises. Tortoises are so cool. Okay, what's your welfare problem? No hard shelter, no enrichment. I don't know if that's big enough for a tortoise. That, way too big. I think we'll go for that one. I like that one. What? That only gives me... What? How much shelter do they want? Shelter space is critically insufficient. How? It's one... That's easily... I'm sorry, that's easily big enough for 3 tortoises. How many do they want? Check the animal's traversable area. How do I do that? You have to use the construction to get a ceiling and place that down. Click on the circle on the bottom left. I see. It count... What? It counts that, but it's like barely anything. Okay. Well, I'll just delete this then. So none of the placeable like things like burrows, do they not count? How much does that give them? Burrow gives them nothing. Okay.
I will say I use some of the bigger structures.
Get a roof for them. A roof does more than actual shelter. Yeah, but I shouldn't need to roof them. Like, they should be happy with this. I don't see why this enclosure needs a whole roof over the top. That's gonna take forever to build. I don't see why one of these shelters is not sufficient. Yeah, but how much does that one count as? Only 23%. I think they've been a bit harsh with some of these shelter values, personally. Some of these roof varieties suck. I really hate the whole, oh, you have to do Z. I just want to attach the roof to the top of this fence. Can I not, like, snap it to the fence? Ah. Okay, yeah, but how do I snap it to the fence? That's how. Okay. They kind of do and kind of don't. Yes. Why did it randomly just rotate the panel? Okay, is that sufficient? I know it's terrible, but is that sufficient? Yes, it is sufficient. Okay. I'll get rid of this thing. They also wanted what? Enrichment. How do I know which is suitable? They want food and toy, but it I mean, I'm assuming some are for specific ones. Click on tortoise. I have clicked on tortoise. Is it one of the? Oh, hang on. There we go. Okay.
I would like to point out that people are being especially a lot more helpful to you than they were to me. Because no one told me this.
We will give them some frozen fruity blocks. And then we will give them, like, that's an especially, what sort of dog ball is that big? Jesus. Is this satisfactory numbers of enrichment? There is no toy enrichment in the habitat. How is a dog ball not toy enrichment? I thought it was a dog ball. Small, colourful ball. Does that count? Yes, it did. I think Dane is better than you at this point, King. Thank you, King Giga, for the support. You know, this is my first time playing this.
What to know what? It was my first time playing a park simulator.
Right. I just want to get the bloody tutorial thing sorted. The other one is these guys. Okay, so what is wrong with you? Welfare. Terrain is not satisfactory. Enrichment is not satisfactory. They want more grass, and less soil. Okay. That should be easily done. They want a bit more short grass. Okay. Now they want more long grass. They still want less soil. I would say they've got no soil in here, practically, but okay.
That's what it is saying that they want, yes.
Plant type and coverage is inappropriate.
They need it, which means
Oh, these are all the trees that are already there. Okay. So, can I just select trees for a particular animal? I find it concerning that they don't have oh. Okay. No, I want grassland. There we go. Okay.
make sure it's continental.
I'm sure it doesn't matter what specific grassland it is, as long as it's grassland. I have no idea what I'm doing. Are those counting? I need to see if
It's
these.
saying that it's not
Arg!
fighting I told you to by accident.
Why does it not just select the correct? So grassland isn't enough. It also has to be. Okay. Well, none of these grasses are particularly big. It's going to take forever to cover the environment. How is the plants going down? King Giga, can you stop insulting me, please? How is the plant value going down? I don't understand. These are the right plants. What?
The issue in this case is there's too many plants. There's too many plants with too much coverage.
It just...
The better thing to think about would be the originals. Just don't have an
It wants me to delete plants. Why under the plant option doesn't it tell you, like, give you a bar that indicates whether you're supposed to delete them or place them? Like, because that's just not helpful.
One thing is saying that there is the appropriate type of plant for, and the coverage is saying there's too many plants.
That's not very... That's kind of
I know, it's
confusing.
not.
Like, why have 2 bars here that seem to suggest that you need more plants and less coverage of plants? That, for me, seems like really a confusing way of doing it. What does this all mean? You know, someone could have said to me that I was supposed to delete the ones marked in red.
I did.
Is that it? No, it's just enrichment.
Not bad. Not bad.
Is that it?
At
1?
all. I think it's fair to say that you've passed the first part of your training with flying colours. There's still lots more to learn, but we'll have to head to another one of Bernie's zoos for that. If you want to grab your passport, we'll head off, shall we?
No, we are going to stay here. Because I am not... The whole point is to just play
Sounds like
on
you've got
this
the
zoo.
whole zoo purring away nicely. Well, purring,
Jeez.
grunting, screaming, booming. All the appropriate noises. I guess I was right to hire you, huh? Don't tell her I told you, but Nancy wasn't sure you'd even last the morning. So, we're happy this is working out. And Nancy owes me a foxy coffee. As strange as it seems, considering we just met, when I look at you, I feel like you're the child I never had. After the one I did have, obviously. But you see, zookeepers...
No, we're not
is a
switching
great goal.
tutorial. We are
Don't get me
staying
wrong.
here, King
Emma
Giga. As I've
absolutely
said, the other 2
loves
tutorials
animals,
are
but
important. Well,
she set her sights
I
somewhat
don't want to
higher.
go through all of the
Wants to
tutorials
save the
when I
entire
just
planet.
want to stay...
I'll just settle for saving a couple of species.
What do the other 2
And maybe
tutorials
having
teach?
a type of frog named after
That
me.
I need to know. Because...
From memory,
like the whole, I don't see why I need to like do those. I can stay here. I know how to do the modular building stuff is pretty similar to Prehistoric Kingdom. Lore is not relevant because I'm not intending to play Planet Zoo for the channel as like a proper game. The whole point is to just do this for the modular building aspect. Someone isn't happy. Is stressed. Why are you stressed? What? Why is this Why did that random... What? Why did she randomly become stressed out of nowhere? That was weird. Well, no, I'm not going to go to Sandbox, because then it'll be boring. But how does the path thing work? I don't understand how path works. Okay, but how do I just want to fill this area up with path.
Planet Zoo.
What? It doesn't use... Really? Oh, that's kind of bad. Oh, I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
Oh, that is awful.
And then you accidentally make an alternate on the planet not on the map, people just keep going because it doesn't go anywhere.
Oh, bloody hell. Ah! So you can't just fill areas of path like you can with Jurassic World. Press and hold the Z button. Ah, thank you, Nicholas. That's actually helpful. What? Why isn't it? Thank you, Nicholas. But it means that you can't fill up areas. I don't like that. That's because it means that to get really good like placement of stuff, you always kind of you have to build the paths first and then build the enclosures in order to get them as close as possible to each other. It doesn't change the pillars? Crikey. Okay, let's... Okay, I want to delete these. Edit. Barrier. Where the shit is the... Just let me delete the barrier. Why is it so difficult to delete the barrier? 1 hour and 1 tutorial. Okay, can someone please tell me how do I edit the how do I delete these pieces of glass? That's the terrain one. Why do I have to press the button on the keyboard to do it? Why is there not a thing in here to do it? That's a silly way of doing it. If I have to press the delete key, which is all the way over on the other side of the keyboard, why can't I just have a button like just to delete? I never thought I would miss some of the fucking basic stuff that Jurassic World Evolution has done in their games. Goodness me. I also keep being told there's windows, but I see no windows.
It's on the panel on the right hand side. It's below snap to decent heights.
Oh. What? What? Okay, that did not... Ah. I don't really like the way that you can't just freestyle the length. Like, why does it have to be... No, I just want... I want to be able to determine the length. I also put that bit of length in the wrong place. Jesus. They didn't make some of these controls very intuitive, and that really worries me for Evolution 3. Wait, obstruct it. There's nothing to obstruct it. I don't like these barriers. Why is everything like 90 times more complicated to achieve than it needs to be? Like, you can't freestyle the length of barriers?
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm not being an idiot, right? There's no way to, like, just click and drag barriers out? No, because Z is rotate. What does that even... Oh, that just moves that. There is a way to click and drag barrier. How? How do you click and... How do you just drag the barriers? So I don't see a control here to do that. Ask a keep. I don't see an option for it. I'm not ending this stream until I figured out how to do it.
Okay.
No, there is no way to... You can't... You can't. I've just looked it up online. People
So-
just talk about
Yeah.
changing the length control.
You can't drag and drop it, but you can extend an existing barrier length.
That's... I think that's a particularly bad way of doing it, if I'm honest. I think Jurassic World Evolution's method is superior. Easily superior. And Planet Kingdom does the same thing. Why would you restrict people to building it in specific lengths? That's so silly.
And you were wondering why I was having such a hard time with it.
Planet King, Prehistoric Kingdom. Sorry, oh, that's because me and Nerd Guy were talking about Prehistoric Planet the other day and the Carnotaurus. Wow, this is... I really hope that they've put a few more quality of life features into Jurassic 3, because this game feels like it has really awkward controls, just like Prehistoric Kingdom in its modular building. We are going to come back to this park because I do want to just like build on this park. I want to use this park to like test modular building and building stuff in general. So we will come back to this, probably not on Sunday though. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll go back to the Euro Park on Jurassic 2. For this, we'll come back to this another time. I'm going to save here. I'm going to save this as Stream Zoo And we will come back to... Good God. I didn't think it would be that difficult to go through a few tutorials. Holy moly. Anyway. Thank you, people, for tuning in and putting up with how bad I am at this game. At the beginning, anyway. I will see you folks tomorrow for Dewey. And yeah. Don't forget to like if you haven't, subscribe if you're new, etc. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Wherever you are, enjoy the rest of your Saturday evenings. Stay safe, and good night.